can feel what I feel. In this business, you know, because of Kim's leadership. And she's somebody who blazed a trail, not only in Jeunesse, through the successful entrepreneur success system that she has built that and shared with people around the world. She's really given her heart, her compassion, her passion, her energy, her time and resources to help all of us succeed, not only in Jeunesse. Really thank the God, the universe, whatever, to be able to have what she has today, and she wants to pay it forward to all of you. So please give a big hand for Jeunesse, system founder, entrepreneur, philanthropist, my dear friend Kim Wei.
The last couple of days has been one of the most meaningful journeys in my life. And truly, it has taken the journey of self-discovery and the self-growth and the self-expansion journey to be where we are today. And certainly is not a one-person effort. It's a concerted effort of a group of individuals that have that courage to dream. And more importantly, they have that courage and determination to pursue their dream. And as we encounter on this journey of entrepreneurship, and as we move forward to seek for financial freedom, and pretty much as you look at this platform, and that's exactly what we did. In the beginning, from my kitchen table, we made a decision to make a difference in our lives. And along the way, to help other people to make a difference in their lives. And as we embark on that journey, and as we reap a little success, and you know, it's amazing sometimes, you know, when you grow with life, instead of just living life and letting life living us, you grow with life. And so we move on to that journey, and now I'm on to a different mission. And when we have success, you know, what the universe give us, we gotta give back. And so now I'm on a different mission of recruiting those entrepreneurs, those people that have success and that have a heart, to also recruit them on a different journey of giving back to society. Not only helping other people to become financially independent, but at the same time, that together, collectively, I believe we can make a difference in this world. How many of you truly want to make a difference before we leave this earth, that we want to leave a legacy? We want to make a positive impact for the children, for the elderly, and for human mankind. How many want to do that? Show of hands. I am in the right room, and thank you very much. Thank you all my Singaporeans. I am very, very blessed to be surrounded by a group of angels, to be surrounded by a group of kind souls that not only have the courage, but more importantly, have the love and have the gratitude to help make a difference. You know, when I decided that I want to make this gratitude tour, it's just one phone call. In 7 different countries, 60 to 80 people want to participate at their own expenses to come on this journey. That they leave their family, they leave the businesses, they went on a journey that will forever change your life. The money that we donated wasn't that much, but the love and the rippling effect that left the imprint on this earth. Do you know that even though right now a group of us, we have left Taiwan, we're right here in Singapore. Do you know that that love, that energy is now spreading throughout Taiwan? Why am I talking about this in a training? Because that is what life is all about. That this platform that we are very blessed to be with Jeunesse Global, this platform has allowed a group of us that wanted to make a difference, that wanted to make a difference with our lives. But at the same time, in that journey of fighting for the financial freedom, that wanted to make a difference, in that journey, you know what we were able to do? We were able to give back to society, to give back what we took from. Do you think it's a very noble cause? How many of you truly want to be successful in life? Show of hands. Thank you. You know, I learned that and over the last 20 some years as an entrepreneur, I learned that in order to have that, to achieve that success, we ourselves must break through. What do I mean by that? It's through innovation, through expansion. That's how we break through. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my background and how I embarked on this journey and allowed me to be where I am today. You know, perhaps like most of you, and especially in Singapore, that I raised in a very traditional family, and through college, through education, and through my work environment, I was taught to be very structured, very detail-oriented. Here, people in Singapore, are we structured and detail-oriented? Yes. That's okay. That gave us discipline. That gave us the work ethics to learn to be what's right and give us the right consciousness. But I realized that whatever my parents have taught me, that whatever university have taught me, whatever society have taught me, somehow, somewhat, had limited my potential. See, I don't know. There's a movie that I saw many years ago that really, I believe, captured the essence of what we're talking about. How many of you saw a movie called The Matrix? Matrix, some of you? Yes. Matrix was about, in a sci-fi movie, was about a group of people that are put on Earth, whatever the environment they were living in, that they were conditioned. They were told what to do by society, by the government, by authorities. They were taught what to do. It's as if we are robots. It's as if we were taught to get up, go to work, pay our taxes, then do the next day. What do we do? Get up, go to work, do our daily livings, daily grind. What do we do next day? Get up, daily grind. And somehow through that process of daily living, we seem to forget why we're here in the first place. Now, I do not know about you, but there had been a point in my life. After college graduation, I used to work for one of the biggest aerospace companies. I was an accountant. As a matter of fact, I was part of the merger and acquisition team. That when this company called Northrop, we built B-2 bombers. I was in the corporate office. And when we merged with Grumman, I was part of the merger and acquisition team. And I still recall working at that job. I work in a very nice environment, a very nice city called Century City, right next to Beverly Hills. And I still recall after years of working in that post. I was an accountant by trade. You know, how many accountants we have in the audience? You talk about detail-oriented? Well, I was a beat counter. I dealt with numbers. I didn't know how to sell. I didn't know about relationship because I dealt with number all day long. And I still recall, after years of fighting the traffic, I would fight stuck in traffic for an hour and a half. I would leave home early morning, 6:30 in the morning, hour and a half, going to work. Work the 8 to 9 hours of work, then fight another hour to 2 hours back home. Day in, day out, day in, day out. And there were times that during my lunch hour that I would walk outside. I would walk into that Century City Mall right next to Beverly Hills. And that is perhaps the only time I get to see sunshine during my working career. And at that time, I asked myself, can I see myself doing that daily grind for the rest of my life? I was in my 20s, and I asked myself, in America, our retirement age was 65. What's the retirement age here in Singapore?
62.
65. I said, can I see myself doing this another 40 years? You know, I work in a corner office, corner cubicle, that we have fluorescent lights. It's as if those fluorescent lights, every time I go into the office, it's as if those fluorescent lights suck the juice out of my life. How many of you had that feeling? It was like, dude, there's gotta be something better. There's gotta be more meaning than that daily mundane life. Then somehow I got buried because I was taught, but I didn't know what to do. Why? Because I was taught by society that the symbol of success is to acquire assets, to buy property, to buy beautiful cars, to buy beautiful clothing. Now, I don't know, here in Singapore, in America, we have something called credit cards. Do you guys got them here? Yes. And we got something called mortgage. You got them here? Yes. 30-year mortgage. When we save a little money, we were taught by society, you gotta leverage your money, invest in property, property's gonna go up, then guess what we do? We're gonna, we save a little more money, what do? We buy another property. What's in the money we do? We begin to accumulate those something called supposed to be assets, but seemingly they were debts. And those drain and suck the juice out of our lives, that really have prohibited us to dream. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Show hands. I am in Singapore, am I? It's okay. I was like many of you sitting in the audience. There had been a point in my life that after years of college education, years of corporate work, I have gotten to a place in my life that I was so scared to dream because I was so scared to let go of that comfort zone of what I thought I had. And what I thought I had was nothing more than burden that tied me down, that kind of buried my ability to dream. And it took someone to lay me off 20-somewhat years ago to face and do some soul searching of why I'm on this earth. And it took a lot of courage to go out there and pursue my dream again. And it took a lot of soul searching. As a matter of fact, when I got laid off, not only did I lose my self-confidence, I lost my self-esteem. I was 3 months away from losing the house I bought. I was a couple of months away from losing the Mercedes I just bought. And I was in my 20s, late 20s. I said, what do I do? You know, on one hand, you know, when we were young, we had this dream, this noble dream of be somebody, be a millionaire. And then somehow, you know, my parents taught me, you know what, to be a millionaire, to succeed in life, you have to have what? A good education. You gotta get a job first before you get a good job. Get a good education. So I did, like any good daughter, went to good education, went to good school. Then next thing you know, get a good what? Job. And Chinese family, we call a good job called what? Gam what? Jing fan, Jing fan what? A golden rice bowl that we perhaps can eat from this golden rice bowl for the rest of our lives. And that's seemingly true for the older generation. Do you think, do you believe the global economy, that the way we operate, do you think everything's changing? Absolutely. I mean, I still recall the days back then. I wasn't in that age at that time, but I still remember watching movies where in the old days, how do people communicate? They write a letter, perhaps put that letter in a bottle, right? Message in a bottle. Or perhaps they write a letter and put it in a bird, and then the bird delivers a message. Then as society, as the world advances, then there's what? Courier. Then as the world advances, there's what? Postal service. As the world advances, these days, what do we have? Emails. If I were to send a letter from United States, from Los Angeles, where I lived, here to Singapore, it might take a week. But today, I type it, the minute I hit a button, boom, guess what? There you go, in Singapore. Because the world changing. And so as I look at all that, I dug deep. I took the whatever saving I had left at that time when I got laid off. I went on a soul-searching trip. I went to Hong Kong all by myself. This is in my 20s, late 20s. I went to Hong Kong, and I went to Vietnam. I've never been to Vietnam before. I don't speak the language, but I want to see the world. I wanted to find out why. Why is it that after I've done what's supposedly to do in this world, that the path that we were taught to be successful, I've gone through all that path, and be a good girl, and done all that why me? You know, after that trip of soul searching, I went to deep in the villages. I watched children, no shoes, clothing broken, no food to eat. It really humbles me. It taught me a lesson. It said, where am I in my life to need to complain? There were people that don't even have food to eat. So what if people lay you off? So what if you have to start all over again? And it's as if at that moment that I went back to the United States. It's like rebirth. It's like, you know what? It helped me rekindle that little fire, that entrepreneurship fire, that dream of wanting to be somebody, wanting to be a millionaire, wanting to be special, to achieve great things in life. And sometimes through adversity, through challenges, that's when opportunity happens. Isn't that what opportunity is all about in the Chinese character? That when there's danger, there's also opportunity. And so I want to share that with you is because it doesn't matter where you are today. It doesn't matter how successful you are, or perhaps at this moment you are not where you want to be. I want to share with you that there is a way out. That there is a better way than what we were taught through society, through our parents, through university, through college, through education. There is a better way. And it does take that one person or a group of people to realize that, you know what, guys, there is a way out, just like the movie Matrix. Matrix, the person, the one, that he wasn't sure that if he was the one to unplug from what society taught us. He wasn't sure. He had self-doubt at that time. And as I embarked on my entrepreneur journey, do you think I had doubt? Yes. Do you think I was scared? Absolutely yes. And when you encounter this Jeunesse Global platform, that will people reject you? That is a guarantee. I cannot guarantee how much money you will make in this platform. But one thing I will guarantee you, and I can guarantee you, is that you will have people. And perhaps these are the people that are very, very, very close to you. That they do not see what you saw. And they will turn you down. They might laugh at you. That's okay. They mean well. But you must know what you want. Just like the movie Matrix. That one. It took that one to have the courage. And it was also a journey to discover his destiny. And it was a journey through trial and error, through challenges, through blocks, through the things that threw at him. That it was at that time he discovered that passion and that confidence that, you know what, he was the one. And he was able to unplug from what society, the frame that was put around us. And when he unplugged, he realized how vast university is, how big this earth is, how many things that we can do. And it certainly is not one person's effort, but it takes that one person to break through. And when the one in the Matrix, when he was able to break through, guess what? He started rallying other people and saying, guys, you know what? Let's all unplug. Let's all remove that framework that's been put and constrain us. And let's go out there and do something. And that journey is called an awakening journey. It awakes a human soul. It awakes a human spirit. And that is what this journey, last 20-some years of entrepreneurship, meant to me. People often ask, Kim, where do you get the energy? Where do you get the passion? Where do you get the courage? It wasn't an overnight thing. People looked at, wow, in the last 4 years, you guys made so much money, have so much success, and seemingly it was 4 years of work. It wasn't. The last 20-somewhat years, I was being prepared for something big. And I truly believe each and every single one of you here today is not by accident. We are put into one room. Think about this. We have different people from different countries that came here to Singapore, that brought their love, brought their story to spread right here in Singapore. And then you all took time off in your life to be here a couple of hours with us. There is a reason. And I believe it's time for each and every single one of us to begin that process of, you know what? It is a beautiful world. It can be a beautiful world. What you saw in the little short 5-minute thing, to some people that didn't go on the journey, perhaps you got it, but I guarantee you, for those people that came on that journey with us, they have already elevated and self-expanded to a whole different level. We must, to live life is one thing. We must be able to experience life. And I want to take a few moments to share that with you, because this is the essence of self-breakthrough. See, to have success, we must be able to break through that whatever we were taught. See, one of the most beautiful things of a human being is our ability to learn. True or not true? Compared to animals, some animals have the ability to learn. But what sets us apart is that not only the ability to learn, it's also the ability to unlearn. True or not true? That whatever we were taught, that worked for a little while but wasn't working, what do? We must unlearn some of the stuff that we were taught. But here's the one thing that set us apart from everything else, is the ability to relearn. Now these days, computers so advanced. It's like, imagine, picture this, us as a computer. That whatever software they were installed into our brain, into this software, from our parents, if it's babies, little kids, what's the first thing that we learn? Who are the first people we learn from? Modeling, our parents, our grandparents, elderly. Then the next thing, as we go to kindergarten, elementary, high school, and all that, we learn from what? Schools, education, teachers. And there's a different software that's installed upon us. True or not true?
True.
Then as we graduated, advance a little bit, then we go to what? Society, to work a job. And guess what? They also got another set of software that's installed in our brain. But what most people have forgotten to do is that take whatever we've learned, that there are times that we need to delete or update our learning. And there are times that we must be open to install new softwares. That's how we advance in life. That's how we evolve to where we are today. Last night, we had a dinner. And I hear in Singapore you have the lagao. Is it called lagao? Aloha, sorry. Aloha. Now keep in mind, I've been traveling the last few days, okay? I mean, all I saw is lagao, okay? Aloha, okay? And people say, Kim, you should know you're from Hong Kong. Yeah, I lived in America for 35 years, But still, when they go, I said, what is this? And I saw all the acts and all the thing falling all over the place. It's a good thing. All the Wang Jing, all the goats all over the place. And they go, the taller you lie, the better it is, So we had a great fun. And I don't know why I got in there, okay? But last few days, I really have been traveling quite a lot. And can somebody refresh my memory of what I was talking about? Then I got to lagao, lahe. Can somebody refresh my memory, huh?
You said last night's dinner.
Last night dinner. If only you were there to hear the sharing from all these incredible entrepreneurs. Not only are they successful in the Journess platform, to me, they are even more successful as citizens of this earth. Because I believe each and every single individual sitting in the audience, if you have a heart, you don't even need to understand Chinese. If you have a heart, you would have felt what they were talking about. I do not need to say anything. There's no need to train. There's no need. If you only can touch the core essence of what human spirits are, I tell you, you've got it. And through this last few days of gratitude tour, and at the end in Taiwan, that we had a sharing. And I want to share that with you because it's so important. And that kind of like shed some light of what this whole platform is all about. That at the end there's some sharing. And there was the youngest person that was on the tour. His name's Jack. Jack was from Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. And Jack is 19 years old. So when he did the sharing, it touched my heart. Now I know that there are many people in the audience and you have kids, you have children. And his sharing was, he says, you know what the tour meant for him? He's 19 years old. And he said when he was at the elderly shelter, that he recalled and recollect his mom. His mom always tell him that Jack was pretty taupy, didn't listen to mom. And whatever mom tell him, say, you're too lazy at school, you need to do better at school, you need to do better as a person. And then he would tell his mom, say, Mom, you do not understand. This age, this time is very different than what you used to be. Now, moms, how many of you heard that from your kids? My son, who's 10 years old, he would say, Mommy, you just don't understand. School today is very stressful. It's not what you think it is, Mom. You are old time. And when Jack shared that, and he says, you know what though, Kim? And classmates and guys, that when I was at Lao Yuan, when I was at the senior center, he says, I realized and I finally understood what my mom said. That I ought to be humble. I ought to have that 感恩的心 to listen to my mom, to be a better person, to do better at school. Let me ask you, 在座每一位 every single one of you that are parents, how does it make you feel if your son or your daughter had that realization just because a short 3-day trip? How do they feel good, parents? It is what? Absolutely priceless.
Yes.
Another person came up and sharing. This lady is in her early 50s. She's pretty well to do. But unfortunately, all her family members, all died of cancer. Her mom, her dad, her sister, her uncle, brothers, everyone died of cancer. Early age. So for her, she didn't know when she was going to go. She's left with a lot of money. So all she does is all the money she has, she just go spend it, buy. Everywhere she go, buy, spend. Because she doesn't know, there's a sense of insecurity that she doesn't know when she was going to go. There's no purpose that drives her except to sort of live for today. And her thing of living for today is spending money because she didn't know when she would go. And in the beginning, when she joined Jeunesse, it was a product that kind of captured her because all her family died of cancer, and she wanted to maintain her health, so she took the product. So somehow, somewhat, that there's a calling for her to go on this trip with us. And after the tour, she came up and shared. And she says, you know what? After this tour, it gave me a sense of purpose in life. After this tour, she says, I wanted to do something for society. I wanted to live. I wanted to contribute. Folks, I don't know if you have any family members or friends that are in depression. And sometimes it will take them years of therapy that still got stuck in that realm of their old thinking, the old framing, the old thought, old pattern. But just a simple short trip, 3-4 day trip, they were able to help her break through. Do you think it's priceless? Absolutely priceless. Then there's a young man, 30 years old, from Taiwan. He came on stage and he shared. He says, you know what? I've always been an entrepreneur. I've always been busy working my business. And he said, when I took time to spend with the senior people, the elderly and the children, the less fortunate children, he said, when I spend time, I asked myself, if I could take time off my life to see other people, other elderly, he says, why wouldn't I spend the time with my own grandma? And so the next day, he went home and saw his grandma. And when he saw his grandma, he hugged his grandma for a long 3 minutes. And his grandma looked at him and said, son, grandson, what have you been doing the last couple of days? Why am I sharing all that with you? All this is an ever-evolving journey of beginning an entrepreneurship journey. But through that journey of entrepreneurship, it taught us something. It taught us to go back to basic. It taught us to go back to that core. It taught us to perhaps that journey, this life, to really awaken our spirit and say, you know what, guys? There's a lot of things we can do together. Obviously, to make a difference in this world, that we also need to create financial freedom. And what a great platform we have, that we have an opportunity, a platform that helps us to create financial freedom, but at the same time, it teaches us how to become a better person on earth. Is it okay with each and every single one of you?
Yes.
Is it okay if I open up my heart and share with you what transpired the last 4.5 years and what I envision is going to happen from year 2014 onward? Is it okay?
Yes.
I'm in Singapore, am I?
Yes.
Is it okay if I share with you? Open my heart. Is it okay?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Now, what I actually described, everything is really what happened to my life up to where I am today. In a Chinese age, I am 50 years old. Don't look yet, do I? But I want to share with you, and initially that's why most of you are here, is I want to share with you how we built this company and why we are going to embark on an incredible, even bigger journey. And like I said, in the early stage of our building this business, it started with 5 of us. in my house in Diamond Bar. I live in California in Diamond Bar, and I call Samson and a few other people in my kitchen table. And I said, we're gonna make a difference. They wanna be millionaires. They wanna be US millionaires. And I said, you know what, okay, we're gonna do it together. And not only that, one of my goals was to help people around me to become millionaire. At the same time, I have a personal goal of breaking my past record. I want to break through. I want to self-break through. So I set a target, a mark that I want to break through. And this time, the amount of traveling is really like collapsing time. And so as I travel around the world, one of the most common things that came about was this. Is, you know, Kim, I noticed that all the people that started with, that are having success, that are walking the stage, they are the ones that are very close to you. They get to really like work and stuff and leverage the essence of the experience of how to build this business. And I look back and say, you know what, it is true. Because the last 4 years, what I did was I wasn't the one from my house and say, you know what, you do all this stuff. I was like, listen, I said, how do we do it? We have no story, no check story, nobody. I mean, the day that we started, left side 0, right side 0. We said we're going to build a global platform. They go, great. How many countries are we in? I said, right here in Diamond Bar. So what do we do? There was nothing. I didn't even know how to pronounce resveratrol. I didn't even know how to talk about growth factors. You know, when they tell me, you know, this GF, I go, you know, now these days we do a lot of texting, right? I said, GF, what is GF? Girlfriend? I mean, I didn't no idea what it was. And so I didn't know how to pitch this deal. The only thing I could do is I know, I said, why are we doing this? And after 20 years of being in this industry, I kind of know how to pitch the big vision. So I took these friends of mine and I rolled up my sleeve. I said, guys, the best way for me to teach you is you come with me. You watch what I do, you watch what I say, then you duplicate what I do. And with this objection and these questions, you watch how I answer them. Why do I have to take them with me? Because the thing to succeed in this platform, the most important key to create wealth is something called what? Duplication. It's not about one person being a super salesperson or being super good at what they do. It's about having massive people to be able to do that one very simple thing. So I took these groups of people, and, you know, I started in LA, then I went to Hong Kong with Harris and Vincent and Vicky, then I went to Taiwan with Lin Lao Si and with Gina and Piching, and with that, then Indonesia. These are the 3 countries that we started with. So I was hopping on the plane every month. 1 week I was gone. Every week, 1 month I was gone. I was rotating. Every time I go, I would go 6 days and I'll hit 3 to 4 countries. Bam, 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 bam. How? Why? Because there's nothing. There's nothing for me to show you. The only thing I can show you is take my passion, take my belief, roll up my sleeve. I said, guys, watch what I do, learn what I do, and duplicate what I do. And after 4.5 years, that it brings me great pride to watch all those friends that started with me, that believed in it, believed in themselves, believed in the opportunity, and that took the time and the effort to go out there and pursue it relentlessly. Where there's no business, where there's rejection, nobody saw it, but they kept going, and they kept it going, and they kept it going, and they kept it going. How many of you have rejection? Show of hands. How many of you have people say no to you? Tell yourself, it is okay. What do you do when you fall down? As little babies, I recall when my son was learning how to walk. When a little baby, when they have to walk, they were fumbling around, weren't they? They try to hold on something and they fall down. Now, as parents, when they fall down, do we 有没有伤心? Do we get hurt?
Yes.
Of course we do. What do? We encourage them. Son, it's okay. Yeah, Papa, 可以. Get up and walk. Mommy, right here. Come walk. That's what it takes. It is the same thing. Learning to do gymnastics is like a little baby learning how to walk. I said, you know what, son? It's okay. Get up, baby. You can do it. But what if some parents, what if you don't have the capacity, or you could not tolerate how painful it is to watch your son or daughter fall? What if when your baby learning how to walk and they fell, and you say, you know what, baby? Please don't get up. Don't walk. Crawl. We are meant to walk. Human beings are meant to walk. Are you guys with me so far?
Yes.
See, you know what? We all have to get out of that comfort zone. I was very comfortable. 20-some more years ago, you know, in Singapore, you guys have a very high cost of living. In the United States, 20-some more years ago, I was making $100,000 a year, US dollar, annual salary. To me, that was pretty good. Maybe here in Singapore is nothing. I was told a couple of days, I don't know what day I was here. I was told, oh, Singapore people make 200,000, 300,000. I said, whoa, you guys are good. But for me, 20-something years ago, I thought I had it. I thought I was pretty comfortable. I bought a house. I bought a car. I had nice clothing. And many of those stuff were on credit cards. Debts. Are you guys with me so far? We were taught that. But in that journey, now again, I don't know how I got there. Can somebody refresh my memory of how I got there? Joanne? How did I got there? Comfort zone. That we all have to break. It started with us. Certainly, it didn't feel comfortable when people reject us. It didn't feel comfortable when people whom don't understand what we do, that when they put down what we do. Especially that in this industry of ours, of direct selling or network marketing, whatever it is, there's a negative connotation about the industry. Now, I don't know about Singapore. Do people have a negative connotation or stigma about network marketing? Show hands.
Yes.
Yes. Can I tell you a big secret?
Yes.
I think Steve Jobs is a brilliant guy. If you look at Apple, for example, Apple seemingly is a phone. True or not true? It has the ability, the functionality of a phone, a cell phone. But at the same time, it's a lot more than that. It could be a camera. True or not true? Yes. It could be a little computer that stores things. It could be an MP3 that plays music. It's multifunction. But it's an ever-evolving thing. And I want you to rewind many years ago, 20 years ago. The cell phone industry, cell phone was like a big, so you what? You know? The wang, you know, the thing is so that big, right? But who would have thought that as human society evolved, the cell phone is this thin, and it's a smartphone? Who would have thought that? It's innovation. But it takes a process to get to where we are today. And so as you go out and share the opportunity with other people, they will look at this industry with their past perception of what they thought it is. Just like when you talk about people's cell phone, oh yeah, it's nothing more than a cell phone. No, it's a lot more than a cell phone. So when they look at us, they go, oh, it's network marketing, it's MLM. You know what? Yes, MLM, it got a similarity of MLM, but it's a lot more than MLM. Are you guys with me so far? Yes. So the last 4.5 years, the people that are around me, that when I take on tour, Diamond Expedition, when I go on these tours, that people have the opportunity to expose to how I pitched it, how we share with it. And I realized that, you know what? I can only do it for this long, to be out in the world. Every week out of a month, I was out. Now, I don't know how my husband, who has such big loves, allowed me to go around the world like that, with a little kid at home. And I recalled there's two incidents that really woke me up, and that really had awakened me to do the next process. See, all the last 4.5 years, we have created many millionaires, created many success stories. That I watched people around me that started with me at the time, that they had no car, they were financially devastated, they were heavily in debt. But because in just a short 4 years, that they were able to own properties, totally debt-free. They bought cars, they buy cars, and everywhere I go, every market I go into now, that when I go to Taiwan, Li Nao Su will pick me up in his brand new BMW. When I go to Hong Kong, Vincent will pick me up in his S320 in Hong Kong. When I go to Indonesia, they will pick me up in their brand new Mercedes. In the United States, when Samson bought his first Porsche, Samson took me out for a ride. And our very beloved Yvonne, when she first bought her S550, she came to my house and picked me up and took me for a ride. Do you know how it makes a human being feel if you had a little contribution to kind of along the way guide them to be where they are today? Do you know how it feels?
Great.
It's like a mom, it's like a parent watching your kids succeed. That is priceless. And so, after 4.5 years, the system has been proven that we went out there, we did market after market. And there was two incidents that really woke me up.